Torn Tales Rebound Edition, published by Silesia Games. £7.19 in the eShop right now. But is it worth £7.19? Or are you best off keeping your money? Well, let's find out. My name's Kanan and welcome back to the home of cheap gaming. Right, let's get the housekeeping out of the way, shall we? There's not really much in the way of options apart from sound and SF adjustments. So let's get straight on with the game. So as we look at the screen, the top right is the map that can also be zoomed with ZR. Middle left we have the character icons. Swapped using the D-pad, also has your level that you're currently on. And with a green circle indicating who you've picked on the ground, you basically know who you've picked. Characters all move at the same time and you attack with A and lock on with A as well, while using ZL to unlock a target. The right stick is to move the camera around and zoom in and out. Leveling up as the game is played means we can open the upgrade book with plus. Then using left or right to move to the character you want to upgrade, then moving to the skill you want to add, then it adds it to the bottom of the screen. You can map it using X, Y and B. Also you can craft items using money to craft them. Orbs are also dropped when enemies die or boxes are smashed. These yield things like health, which are green, XP, which are red. You get the point. I will say that on docked mode, it looks more or less the same as handheld mode, but it seems to have, I think, some more little noticeable details, but then it's a bigger screen, isn't it? So, it's a top-down real-time squad-based RPG, or it's meant to be. You play as Robin Hood, Snow White and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as you fight together to try to defeat the evil bookbinder. The story is very throwawayable and very forgettable. It's, I can't even remember half of it myself and I've watched it twice. The story, however, is told in a very nice way and voiced by a very competent, voiceover guy. The controls seem to be fine as themselves, but feel rather slow to react from time to time. More time than actually time. You can also equip loot to the bottom of the screen. I got some after I defeated a boss, like bad guy, and to say it was easy is a rather big understatement. You see, Robin and Snow White are ranged attacks. Robin can do both, to be honest with you, close up and ranged. But Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, well, they're close up only. He died first, so the actual boss battle, their health went down really slowly, but they weren't really doing much. So they took part of their health down, defeating Dr. Jekyll. I was Robin Hood, and basically I just moved slightly, kept on arrowing him. He moved really slowly. He did these stupid attacks, these like ultimate attack things which aren't really ranged. And as I'm standing way away from him, he wasn't even aiming at me, which was really weird. And eventually he went down and we picked up our loot and we went on our merry way. Merry way. See what I did there? Also, because the team is, well, essentially you and two AI characters, they move around with you. Apart from combat, so when moving, it feels and looks odd. Combat is slow and kind of janky, just feels kind of off. The camera angle as you're moving seems oddly angled, and then it looks even more oddly angled zoomed in because it's still at the same angle. It's kind of weird. And with invisible walls littered all over the place, why not just put trees or something there? That's just insane. Or just really lazy. There was a bit of wandering that way just to, I don't know, find a chest and another trinket, and then all the way back to some other place just so that you can carry on. That was rather annoying as well. As to mention the actual environments, they're really sparse unless you like boxes. You'd go from one big empty stream, and then suddenly you're at another battle, and then another empty stream, area, and then another battle. You do occasionally get well, I think they're towns. They're just spread around really oddly. The game really isn't the best looking game you will ever come across. And okay, that doesn't and shouldn't really matter because gameplay matters more than anything else. But when your character's sliding across the ground and it just feels like it's lacking any real polish, and add to that the skills that you actually gain as you're going through the game and leveling your character up like a good player, just has no weight to them at all. It just doesn't feel weighty whatsoever. As for sound, well, the music was okay to start off with, but soon got turned off by, I don't know, half an hour. And then the other sounds like the bow, the movement, smashing boxes, all just seemed disjointed somehow. The only real winner here was the guy that did all the voiceovers for the telling of the story. I kind of almost feel sorry for that guy because he's the only plus to the sound in here, but I'm pretty sure no one's going to hear the whole story told all the way through the game because no one's going to play the whole game. Also, I have to mention the fact that if multiple enemies come together fighting you, all their noises get kind of like mixed up, like you're sticking it all in a blender and it all rolls into one mess. And so on to my score. I rate games out of 5, and I'm sure after all of that ranting, it comes to no surprise to you that I'm going to give this game a 2 out of 5. I can really see what they're trying to do, but it just doesn't come off in the slightest. It's very poorly executed almost everywhere in the game. The sound really doesn't help itself. The lack of anything real within itself, graphically and as you're on your travels, it's just not much there. And then you get bombarded by like 10 enemies at the same time, like a load of rats or 3-4 tree urchins all squealing together, and it's just feels like a bit of a mess, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to this game. I was biting at the bit to get home from work just to play it. The upgrade system does seem solid, and yeah, if the game was any better, I think I would probably enjoy playing this all the way to the end, but as it stands right now, I just can't do that. So, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? As always, if this has helped you any, or even saved you a bit of money, then consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And until next time, keep it cheap and keep it switch heads.